Yes, we are back. We are back. Welcome to another episode of Lancescurv. I'm mastering this technology and it's a good feeling. We're now live on Substack. So when you get a particular post in your email, when the time comes, just click on the video. It'll tell you the time. And we're on live right now on Substack. So YouTube, I need you less and less. That's a wonderful feeling. But anyway, I want to talk about masculine women. And there are going to be some women who may feel insulted. This is not a knock on women. This is not a knock on Black women. You know, like I always say, we have to go in with surgical precision. Surgical precision. I don't know if you remember that game called Operation. Back in the early 70s, maybe the late 60s, but I know the early 70s. And you had this man who's laying back, but his body really wasn't a body. It was like cutouts. And there were bones inside the cutouts. Like it would go deep below the surface. Like, you know, here's a bone, the opening, the shape of his arm. But you had to take these like tweezers or something, I remember, and go in and pull out the bone without touching the side. If you touched the side, it made a noise, electric, you wouldn't get shocked because it was low voltage, but that was operation. And so you had to go in with surgical precision. And so when we speak about these things, we got to go in with surgical precision. But a lot of people, they get emotional when we talk about these things. So this is why I always say in the beginning, I'm not trying to insult this one. I'm not trying to insult that one. If you've been on Substack, you'll see that I've been putting up some of my old artwork, but I've been writing articles with it. And what was the one? Is Karl Marx correct? What Kanye West is ranting about and who he's trying to insult without insulting anybody. You got to go with surgical precision. But do you exhibit signs of a masculine woman? We're going to go to my notes. Some may have it, some may not, but you'll have it if you don't see it on that particular post on Substack. Is what I do because it keeps me in line. It keeps me focused on the topic because you all know me. I'll run off with something, start off here on the topic and end up somewhere else in West Kalamazoo. So we're going to start out and I'm going to read. Let me see where I am now. My side, my camera's blocking part of the screen. Let me just look in the comment section. Yes, Giant Gain in the house. Xavier B. I'm doing all of this stuff like I'm ducking, right? I got to set it up a little different, you know, because I got it right in front of the comment section. So I got to kind of look around like that to do what I'm doing. But I'm going to put this banner up and ooh, what a face. I'm not trying to paint people as being evil. I put these images up for certain reasons. I go over the top to prove a point. Exactly. Do you exhibit signs of a masculine woman? So let's get into this, right? Let's get into this right now. You know, it rained a little earlier, and when it rains hard, it's blowing up in these mountains like a hurricane, y'all. It's not a hurricane. It's not going to knock the house down, but power lines sometime get knocked down or they blink out. And I do believe the electric company, when they see a big storm coming in the mountains, they will shut things down on purpose. And they do have planned outages. And I have to go to the site and check that out because in the mountains, everywhere doesn't have electricity. Wires are not everywhere. So they have to plan an outage in a certain area to be able to handle the wires. When they put my wires up, we had to pay, this is not on topic. I just want to explain something because you're going to see this happen probably in the future where everything shuts down. Then it's going to take a few minutes for me to get back on. We had to pay from way up on the road, buy the poles, the posts, and the wires, a lot of wire, and run it right to the house, right in front of the house. We had to do that, right? So deeper down the road, there's no wires. We brought it this far. And the different parts where they say, hey, instead of messing around and taking a chance of somebody getting electrocuted, they shut down certain areas, but they let you know ahead of time. But when the storms come sometime, so that if a power line was down and you don't know it and you walking out there and get out your car, just walking, you step on something, they make it where they could cut out certain areas so you don't get harmed. It used to be annoying, but I'm like, how come every time it rains, it goes off sometime, it comes right back on? That means it was always connected. That's what it is, right? Masculine women. Let's go. The modern woman is often praised for her independence, strength, and ability to navigate life on her own terms. However, and there's a big however, beneath the surface of this resilience lies a reality that is rarely discussed. How certain traits shaped by life's experiences can push a woman into embodying a more masculine energy than she may realize. Understand that. She may not realize this. This is not an attack. This is trying to understand something, to make other people understand my perspective, right? Shaped by life experiences can push a woman into embodying a more masculine energy than she may realize. Society has shifted in ways that have encouraged women to be self-sufficient, great, powerful, great, and assertive, great, often out of necessity rather than choice. When I said great, I have no problem on a job if a woman's my supervisor. I have no problem in life if a woman makes more than me. This is me talking. This is my perspective, right? And I don't want anybody in the comment section after this goes up as a completed live stream and a video to accuse me of that. Because anybody who knows me in real life knows that I have no problem with a woman having her achievements and status, but the masculine energy can be too much. Yet, when this energy becomes dominant, it can create barriers to deep connections, femininity, and balance in relationships. Masculinity in women is not about outward appearance alone. It's about behaviors, mindset, and the internal walls built from pain, distrust, and survival. See, that takes it to a whole different level. While men are naturally wired to lead, protect, and provide, a woman who steps into a man's role due to circumstance, trauma, or belief systems can struggle to transition into her natural feminine essence. See, now, when I said while men are naturally wired to lead, we are. But we also have to understand that we have a lot of men out here with feminine energy. Along with the masculine woman. It's strange, but the roles are almost switched. And again, it doesn't mean dominance and I'm going to use my musculature to, it's not about the physical. It could be. And like I said, my life coach, Customato, hit me to a lot of things this past week that I didn't realize about these energies with the masculine and the feminine. See, I have no problem telling you, and I call her my life coach. She's my sister, but she is so in tune with things that when I get good information, I'm going to pass it along. And she inspired this, right? She inspired this particular show. So I went to bed. I said, you know what, I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. I don't know if she thought I was going to do it. So I compiled a lot of the things we discussed, a lot of things I absorbed, and I want to pass it along, right? So women who carry these traits are not even aware of them because they have been conditioned to believe that vulnerability is dangerous, submission is weakness, and trusting a man is a gamble. See, I don't aim to shame in this discussion, but rather to highlight the behaviors that many women exhibit due to learned survival mechanisms. If you find yourself in these descriptions or know women who fit this mold, it is an opportunity for reflection. The goal is not to force change, but to inspire awareness. The power to shift from a hardened exterior to a balanced, Feminine essence lies within choice, self-reflection, and healing, which I believe is something that is very, very important. Because see, you can end up in a place of becoming a masculine woman with masculine energy, but you can arrive at that place, but it was a different road that you took to get there. You see what I mean? So whenever we find ourselves in a certain place, if I'm angry, the next man who's angry, it was different circumstances that got us there. So when you see the masculine energy on a woman, it may not be like the same masculine energy that you experience with another woman. So you can't lump it all in one lump sum. It's different roles, different circumstances, different traumas, right? So we're going to start with the first point. With each point, I'll show my face and ramble a little bit, but I want to make sure to get this in on this audio with no distraction. A masculine woman operates under the belief that if she doesn't take control, everything will fall apart. This mindset often stems from a background where she had to fend for herself, whether due to absent fathers, unreliable partners, or early life responsibilities that forced her into independence. She learned early that dependency leads to disappointment. So she takes charge in every aspect of her life, from finances to decision-making in relationships. For example, in a romantic relationship, she struggles to delegate responsibilities, believing that no one will handle things as well as she does. She plans the vacations, manages the household, and makes all the major decisions, often leaving the man feeling unnecessary. While she may view this as efficiency, it creates an imbalance where she carries the weight of both partners, diminishing the need for a masculine presence. Ooh, ain't that something? So she thinks she's doing good, but she's kind of hurting the relationship. This is a funny call. Some men don't mind. And it's not about tit for tat, because there are some women, many women, who they're just damn good at what they do. And we're not talking about just running the household. Most women are very good at that. And you have some men who are better at that, but I think they're in the minority because women are naturally, that's their gift. But when she starts to think that the next person, the man in the relationship, can't do as well, or because she's been disappointed in the past, and it kind of squeezes him on the couch. You had that little two-seater and somebody's taking up all the space. The next person has to squeeze up, right? So it kind of steps on his toes, because a man has got to feel like a man. But a man has to correct within himself his imbalances. And that's a whole other topic. But if he is truly a man, she's going to fall into place. I don't mean a place of submission, fall down and worship me and kiss my feet. When I say fall down, I don't mean that. You have the man, you have the woman, and they both interlock in their roles. And there can be some overlap. Like I said before, when you have an office and you have one accountant, it doesn't have to be like a huge building, it could be a smaller office with an accountant. And that accountant is sick and he's out for a month. They're not going to hire another accountant to deal with the sensitive issues when they vetted him and he's been there for years. But that accountant is smart because he taught 4 or 5 other people in other departments how to pull it through. Maybe not as well as him. He taught them. He doesn't mind that. He doesn't feel threatened in his position. But a wise man wants his family to be able to hold it down. So if something happens to me righteously, I'm not going to be one of those dudes. Me, I'm saying it, but other dudes say the same thing. They don't want to be that guy that say, yeah, if I'm not around, you're going to be a craps creek. There's some men who are like that. They want to lord that over their head of their families. But you have the righteous man who holds it down, but he wants the rest of the family to know, listen, this is what I do. This is how I do it. If I'm sick or something happens to me to remove me from your life, then this is how it's done. And everybody should know a little bit about everybody's positioning. But it doesn't mean because a woman has a vagina between her legs that there's certain things you can't do, right? So sometimes we have this competitiveness that goes on, the stepping on toes. You know, we got to be perfectly balanced in our relationships. And that's hard to do in this society that has reversed the roles pretty much, or minimized the man. Toxic masculinity. How are you going to have masculinity in a man being toxic when it's very, very, very necessary? I mean, people don't like Kevin Samuels, and everybody doesn't agree with everything that he has said when he was alive. But when you really think about a lot of what he says, it's true. But society took this shift and everything is turned inside out, upside down, just like we all found out with Elon Musk, who went into investigating the federal spending and how many millions have been spent. Well, we're going to promote LGBTQ in Jamaica. You know, $20 million for that. Oh, we're going to promote cross-dressing in Czechoslovakian midgets. Let's give $50 billion for that. No, they didn't really say that. I made that one up. But the Jamaica one is true. Bird watchers. You going to give all these millions? And you got people living under trestles, under the highway, Vietnam vets, Army vets, Marines, whatever. Mental issues, physical issues, older folks living on Social Security and can't afford to live off of that. And they hungry eating dog food. And you giving out this money. So we have to keep ourselves in balance and in check. And there's nothing wrong with a woman running the household. But the masculine energy, you got to curtail that. I understand. Some women grew up, they were disappointed in their fathers, or fathers were never around. So they had this feeling of abandonment. And it's like, I can do this on my own. I ain't going to trust you get in a relationship. Or I'm not going to trust the man now because he might abandon me the same way. And I had that same little feeling I had when I was a little girl. Right? Or that man always lorded over me that he did this. He never told me in my old relationship when I was younger. I got out of high school, got caught up with this older man in his 30s. He took care of everything. I thought it was good until he threw me out or he left. And I had these babies to feed. You see what I mean? So I understand things that can happen. And it's not always from trauma either. We have some women who have a slightly higher level of testosterone than normal. They have it too. There's just so many ways to get there, y'all. But the main thing, how does a woman come from a fiercely competitive environment in the corporate world and then come home and be ultra feminine, whatever? Now, you're a woman regardless. And some women, because of their environment growing up, they may have an edge on them. And I wouldn't say that that's all the way masculine energy. But say, for example, you take a young black woman, let's say 32, right? And she grew up in Chicago or New York City, right? And you take a man who grew up in a hick town somewhere where there was nothing but traditional roles going on, right? And so he's not used to a woman being extra aggressive. So they work on the same job now. She's his superior, right? And he doesn't understand how she's kind of with it because of the environment. So that has nothing to do with the masculine energy. So a lot of times we mislabel women instead of analyzing how they came up. Now, excuse me, on a job, I'm going to come in today and I'm going to do my job and I'm going to analyze this one person. But we need to do that sometime because it can prevent a lot of misunderstanding. Because a man may have dealt with a truly masculine woman and deal with a woman who has to really hold things down and be a little aggressive on a job to get the job done, and read her as that and kind of compare to what he dealt with and think that she's like that when she's the nicest person in the world. When it's time for me to get something done, I'm very with myself. I hold myself to a higher standard. And I'm a perfectionist, and I hate to admit that. So I'm trying to pull back from that so I don't stress myself as much. I give myself a little wiggle room. Instead of being 100%, I'll be 95. When nobody's looking, I'll go back and try to do that 5%. But I don't want to stress myself that way. But let me get on to the next point. I want to so we understand now that we can't just throw that label on somebody and not know who they are. Number 2, she struggles to let a man lead because she's used to calling the shots. She struggles with it. Letting go of control is terrifying for a woman who has spent her life making all the decisions. She is conditioned to believe that if she follows, she will be misled, manipulated, or left to pick up the pieces of a man's poor choices. The idea of submitting to a man's leadership feels foreign because she equates leadership with dominance rather than guidance. For example, when in a relationship, she second guesses a man's decision, overrides his plans, or refuses to seek his input altogether. Even when he shows competence, she feels uneasy because relinquishing control makes her feel vulnerable. True leadership in a relationship is about trust, and until she heals from past betrayals, she will continue to struggle with this concept. Now, see, that's something she's going to have to do, right? And there are a lot of women, and this is not thrown off on women because there are a lot of men who can't deal with the stuff on the inside or don't have the time to do it because look how time is flying. And when you're running a family, I don't mean running them, but I'm saying when you're running a household and taking care of a family, I mess up too sometimes. You have all this stuff ahead of time. Like, I got to do the laundry and I got to take the kids to the doctor and I got to do this. And so you're in your commute coming home on a Friday night if you work Monday to Friday and your mind is jammed up. It's not like you're getting the rest. So when do you have time to really say to yourself, you know what? Let me heal. Some people don't even like that word. You say, man, you need healing. I don't need no healing. Especially Black people. We don't deal with mental health issues or anything. I'm not saying the masculine woman has mental health. I'm not saying that. It's just a matter of balance again. And society misleads this woman and backs her progression. But I know deep down it doesn't feel right. I'm going to come out of left field with certain things. In my life, I've known all kinds of people, all types of people. And I get along with all types of people. There's certain people I don't get along with. It's not a category. It's just that, like chemicals, like I said, people are like chemicals. This will give you a reaction. When you mix with them, others just no reaction. Some are explosive, and you don't know why. Then you end up being the best of friends. You just never know, right? That's just the way it is. But I've known, to say an extreme case or cases, I've known hardcore butch lesbians. I've known hardcore tattoo on the neck, stocking cap wearing, cigarette in the ear, gum chewing, got the keys on the hip, sagging pants, no makeup, of course, burly sometime, masculine where I'm like, yo, I'm going to hire you as my bodyguard. But I would never joke like that. But I've gotten to know a handful. I know a lot of people. And I treated them, me as a man. Not the type of thing where, you know how guys do. I'm not going to be lewd. Hey, girl, I'll straighten you out. I got something down here for you. No, it's going to push them. So they may have this masculine energy. And for whatever reasons, like we said, if you're trying to go to Texas and you come from New York, and you're trying to go to Texas and you come from California, you're going to end up in Texas, but you have two different road maps. So we don't know how they got there to being a lesbian. But I find that when you don't come with that toxic type of masculinity, I'll say that, thinking that if you use your phallic organ, that this is going to know. It's not about that. It's relating. And when you treat a woman, whether she's a hardcore butch lesbian or not, everything as a real man with respect, you treat them with respect, you treat them with a bit of love. You don't know them as, oh, I love you. No, not that kind of thing, but just like, okay, I'm giving you this. And you are a man, but not hung up on, ooh, muscles. I got these muscles. I got these fists, and I could, no, because that's going to make them retreat like that. No. But when they see you firm, cordial, personable, respectful, protective, not trying to challenge the exoskeleton, the exterior, the external that they're presenting to the world, because deep down, they're still a woman. And when you, over time, earn their trust, that facade on the outside falls off. It falls right on off. Especially when they know that you have their best interests in hand. And they don't have to be this person with the fists up to protect themselves. And it's not even about what they do in the bed with another woman. Because what I find, and maybe I'm wrong, but look, I say things here. They try to become what it is that they had lacking in their life. They may not be the type of person to go out there and seek what they were lacking, but they have made up their mind to become that. Well, if I didn't have a father, I'm going to become that. If I didn't have no... So it feels good to be what they lacked to another woman who is attracted to her masculine energy. That's not really a part of her. So we got this role playing going on. And you know how people say it, and I'm going to say it. No disrespect to the lesbians that I know, but isn't it something how they say they don't like men, but you have this woman who is acting like a woman with this next woman who's acting like a man. And then now they run into the same problems. Either one might be cheating, or whatever they say is bad about a man, they're doing themselves. So it's not about the man, it's the roles. And so when you play your role as a real man, and that thing, I'm not calling a lesbian a thing, I'm saying that thing that's on them, they have to keep up, they realize it's too heavy to carry. That you making me feel my feminine. And I'm not saying this to be lewd, but there's several women that I've known over time as friends that went that way, that got to the point where me and her, or one of whatever, got close like that. And it wasn't what I did with them in a bedroom that changed them, like something, I got something for you, girl. No. Even in your dealings that way, and I'm going to come back to the points and stuff, but we're going to talk. You have to be gentle. You have to be loving. You have to take your time. You have, and I'm going to say it, this is going to be kind of adult now, right? When you're making love to a woman anyway, it's not about that. It's not about that. You got to move forward with a woman as though you don't have that. And when it comes time to use that, that's a bonus. But so many men, yeah. And when they're done, when they spray off, they roll over. And this is what will push a woman. I'm not going to say it's going to make her that. But what about your blending of masculine and feminine energy as a man? Just because you drive or inside of a Lamborghini, a sports car, doesn't mean you have to hit the pedal to the metal. You can be the last one leaving off the red light just as cool because you know you can be faster than anybody else out there. So we got men that keep these women this way because they're trying to challenge it all the time. It's a whole different subject. But I found it uncanny in my younger years that because I would take my time and talk with you and not try to challenge you, get to know you, compliment you, not with any motive. I'm going to keep complimenting her and treat her nice so I can get that thing. No, it's not about that. It's not even about that. If that doesn't happen, it's okay. So many men are too anxious anyway to prove something. No. Let's go on to the next point. Number 3, she views softness as weakness because she associates being gentle with powerlessness. She views softness as weakness because she associates being gentle with powerlessness. A masculine woman equates gentleness with a lack of power. In her mind, being soft means being taken advantage of, overlooked, or ignored. This belief is often the result of childhood experiences where showing vulnerability led to ridicule or pain. For instance, when confronted with an emotional situation, instead of responding with warmth and understanding, she reacts with coldness or detachment. She keeps her guard up, afraid that if she allows herself to be seen as too feminine, she will lose the respect of others. Yet, true strength lies in balance. Did I say that earlier? Being both soft and strong at the right moments. See, I'm telling you, that's what it is. Both male and female. You get a lot of dudes out here, they trying to prove them, they burning themselves out. Burning themselves out because they have to wear this mask of this masculinity. And now in this day and age, we got women who are doing the same thing. And it's balance. As a man, I have to know how to be gentle. At the same time, I have to let you know, as a woman, I'm going to protect you. That I'm like that lion who's chilling out. The lion's not roaring all the time. But when it comes time to get busy, we're going to do it. No, not against a woman, but even still, not even just with this in the world. To be able to handle situations using your mind. We can always fight and end up rolling around in the dirt, but you use your mind to communicate in a strong, masculine, firm way, those points. Communication and true communication skills is when you can break something down and de-escalate a certain situation. That's true strength. To maintain an emotional balance and not just, man, I'm going to pick up a stick and bust that Negro in the head. No. And sometimes you have to do that, a very rare occasion when your back is up against the wall. So women that are this way, if they don't understand or see how you operate as a man 360 degrees around, they may see you in your cool mode and it doesn't mean you have to even raise your voice, but it's balance and consistency. And so when you deal with a woman this way, who has had the trauma and hasn't had the healing of acknowledging why she is so masculine in her energy, and meanwhile, remember, like we said at the beginning, she may not know it. It's just the environment. So by you being steady, that's a gauge in her life to know when she's too much over the top. If you're jumping around as a man, emotional, and too much in this feminine thing, doesn't mean female. Because look, and women love it when they see a father of a young baby. And he's burping the baby, he's talking to the baby, kissing the baby, gentle with the baby. He doesn't breastfeed, so he got a bottle, or maybe the mother can breastfeed, right? But being gentle with this young life shows true strength. And maybe they never saw that or felt that or were exposed to that. So as a man, you better be cool. Well, I mean, when you're in a relationship, and I don't say be cool because you're scared of the woman. No, but you don't challenge the woman when she's got this masculine energy going on, because she's ready to, not to physically fight, hopefully not, but she's not going to drop her guard. So when she flies off a little bit emotional, you stay steady. She may say some things in that masculine state that she had to say to other men in situations similar to what she's dealing with you, but you react in a different way, right? So you become that steady gauge, that bedrock that she can start to say to herself, you know what? She may fly off on you, and later on, you, sweetheart, can we talk a little bit? You know, I'm in your corner, and you know I love you. And you know, the way you spoke to me was unnecessary. We got to talk about that. And just leave her for a little while. In the bedroom, she laying down. I was like, listen, I got to go downstairs and get something to drink. Well, when do you want to talk? We're not arguing. I'm not challenging you, but I really want to help you as you have helped me. You got to give them credit too for something they've done for you. And that whole, at least with you, will de-escalate. De-escalate. It's easy to be emotional. I can be emotional. I get emotional within myself when I'm passionate about doing something. I'll fire up some music that puts some things in my head. Yeah, we're going to do. But when dealing with people who are reasonable, no problem. I give concessions. It's no problem. I don't always have to be a bull. And I've learned that working with the incarcerated. See, a woman who goes into working in a jail or a prison trying to prove she's hard, she's going to have problems. You're going to be firm. But what most masculine women have to learn, and I've learned this firsthand, is that there's power in the feminine energy. There's great power in that. Because me as a man, I hate to use the word inmate, but the inmates, if they don't know me, know my style, oh, we got a new one up in here. I heard he's from New York. This is down in Florida, right? Or North Carolina. He's from them New York guys, man. They think they all that, man. They see how he's walking like he just owned the world, whatever. So now they're going to challenge me. And if I don't know how to be firm and say what I say and mean what I say and execute what I mean, I'm going to have a problem. So what am I going to do? Go in and deal with feminine energy? No. But you come in firm and you deal and they begin to understand your rhythm. If I come in there, no, you're not. Get up against the wall. You hear me? You bet I'm going to lock you down for the rest of the shift. Don't try me. I'm in a bad mood today. Don't do it. You know what I mean? That's going to amp them up even more. Right? So when a woman comes in acting the same way, they looking like, you gonna let that woman tell you that? But with the female energy, the feminine energy, when you come into a cell and somebody did something, they threw something across, whatever, before you discipline them. I've seen grown women, I won't call her name, there's one who was like, she was about 5 foot tall or 4'11", a little old something. She walked upright. She was very feminine. She didn't have to raise her voice. You got these burly dudes who, depending on what area you were in and what custody level it was in, she'd work all the areas. She'd be in there with guys who all murdered somebody. And she would walk amongst them because, you know, you got backup. But there's a couple of moments where the backup got to take time to get to you. And she would come into the cell. Baby, why did you do that? Now you know you're making extra problems for me. Why would you want to do that? And the way the inmate may respond is unexpected. Oh, well, you know, I'm sorry. But if I came in there, hey man, pack your stuff up and we're going to put you in solitary confinement or something like that, he's going to have a problem with me and he's not going to forget it. He might try to snuff me or punch me in the face or something. You know what I mean? So it's all how you handle it. It doesn't even matter what the sex it is. But as a man, if someone's coming at you ready to throw, and if you can't sit here and be cool, you got to lock horns. But it doesn't pay to put the pedal to the metal as a man, because you got that already. You can do that. That's an option. I'm not going to take a machine gun if I see a roach crawling on the wall and shooting up everything else. It's damage. So when dealing with a woman who, and this is from experience, friends or certain types of relationships where they may have leaned toward being masculine, you can share your energy in a way to bring things down to the point where that masculine woman, the way she treats you, the way she acts after a while, she's walking around almost post-orgasmic. You know what I mean? I'm not saying actual sex. I'm just saying that other friends will come to you, mutual friends, and say, hey, Lance, you know, every time she hangs with you, it could be just a platonic friendship. Every time she hangs with you, she's always laughing and jolly, but after a while, she gets all uptight. What are you doing? You ain't doing that, are you? I said, no, it's not. It's not on that level. No way. Let me get to the next point. She's loud and aggressive in conflicts because she mistakes dominance for respect. Now, we know people like that. To her, being heard means being the loudest in the room. She has learned that the only way to assert herself is to be aggressive, dismissing the notion that respect can be earned through grace and wisdom. For example, in the man, she raises a voice, talks over him, or uses insults to assert her position. She believes that if she doesn't dominate the argument, she will be overpowered. However, true respect is built through self-control, not volume. And we all know when it comes to the head shaking and all that and getting loud, when do they learn? My mother was one who showed that grace. She never really had to raise a voice with me or with anybody. There are people I knew, like around the neighborhood, that, I would never want to get in any problem with your mother. She wasn't walking around mean. She was just as calm. But I guess because she was in the performing arts and she knew how to eyes, the way she spoke. She wouldn't raise a voice. She wouldn't scream. She would show an intensity that was necessary without her losing her dignity. Never had to raise a voice. She had a thunderous voice to sing an opera in the diaphragm and could project her voice to the back of the stage, to the back of the theater, but never had to do that in real life. I'm not as good as her because I can get loud. I don't like that. But in my older years now, I see the beauty of that, the power in that. Let me just go here to the chat room and just check here a little bit. Kelly Land, Riri, Chance, Rogers, Hope Rice. I don't mess with no brown rice. I don't mess with no white rice. Only Hope Rice I'll deal with. Michael George, welcome on in. Who else here? Okay. I think I caught everybody. Yeah, I will. But yeah, and there is a time that you may have to get loud. Because if I ever heard my mother get loud, I'm like, yo, this is something. And I need to be over there, right? But very powerful. And she got respect even with strangers because they saw how she carried herself. And when you carry yourself dignified and as a lady, doesn't, like I said, I know a lot of ladies who will knuckle up. Doesn't mean you can't defend yourself. Doesn't mean you have to take stuff. No. But there's a long trajectory. You don't see a plane go like this, go and just go up, right? It takes its time and time, it goes up. When it's up there, it's gone. So to escalate something so fast, especially when you have two people in each other's face, it doesn't mean you're weak if you take control of that energy that's happening. Because I've learned that a lot of times, and I've gotten in a lot of fights in my life. Not like a overwhelming, this guy's a problem child or whatever have you. But when you see, as a man, certain situations where the thing is not going to work out, then go for the knockout. You may get knocked out. You may get beat down. When it has to go there, you have to go there as a man. And just the fact that other men know, and this is about masculine women, I'm just going to add this in, they know you will go there. They can sense it. So you don't have to scream. Most 95%, I said this again, I'm going to say it tonight, of most men bluff. Man, no. We'll go in the alley and you'll see me doing something to somebody. You're like, oh man, he beat him up silently and leave him there. That's all. Quick, fast, in a hurry. All this, no, I don't do that. Put your hand on me and try me. I'll do it. I'm not scared. I'm not scared to get punched in the face. I get punched in the face all the time. Right? So with a woman, you don't have to bring that to you have to bring that kind of stuff. Girl, you know why are you doing that? You're making her deal with you in a masculine way if she leans toward that. Let her admire you as an influence, as a person who can control their emotions. Because when things get intense and you do get emotional and you can still kind of control it, they can see when that boiling pot of water is boiling a little more. So, oh, better cut this fire down because that thing will boil over. They never see him like this. He ain't loud, but look at his eyes. You know what I mean? Take your time and de-escalate something, right? Wrong banner. Let's go to the next one. Number 5. She competes with men instead of complimenting them. A masculine woman feels a need to prove she's just as strong, capable, or even superior to men, rather than recognizing that men and women are designed to complement each other. She sees relationships as a battleground for dominance. In the workplace, she may constantly challenge male colleagues, not out of genuine ambition, but out of an ingrained need to prove herself. In relationships, she refuses Okay, let me know if you can hear me in the chat room. Let me know. Let me know. I'm up in the mountains, and sometimes after a storm, and the rain came back. So let me know if you can hear me. Somebody let me know. I had to get this message through the phone. Okay, good. So I'm probably going to continue this because they're doing something. Thank you so much. They're doing something. And like I said, always look out for that. Now it's coming back. Wait, I'm on the phone now. Now it takes a while because I have a Starlink that goes right to the satellite. And you might hear an echo in a second. I'm probably going to come on this way and leave it on the phone. Just give me a second. Give me 1 second. Let's add this to the stage. Okay, I think you can hear me the original way. Now let me cut on my module because certain things cut off, certain things come on, stay on. Let me ask you all a few questions. Russell Simmons. Let's mute this down. All right, let me know how you hear me. Do you hear an echo? Do you hear everything loud and clear the way it's supposed to be? Okay, I'm gonna continue on with this. These things happen. Until I get solar power, I won't need. And I want to get a good system, so it's going to take a little while to get that. We got other things we have to attend to. So living up in the mountains, sometime, like I said, when the rain comes and the storms come, they will cut the power for a while to avoid danger with drop lines and stuff. Because like I said, when it rains up here, woo! When it rains, forget it. Okay, now I got to restore my other pages, my other windows. Just bear with me. Okay, here we come. Scroll and continue. Now I hear some thunder, so this is going to happen again, I believe, which is okay. That's the price of living in the mountains. Okay, I'm hearing my phone. I'm going to keep my phone just in case, because this is how it works. I have Starlink all around the property because I have the dish, right? But I always keep the internet on my phone, like a separate internet when I walk around in the street, whatever. So that way, it's like you heard me. I typed in immediately, and hey, I'll be back. So y'all who are Lancescurv family, y'all know what happens up here. So y'all know, okay, he'll be back. That's a strike. I got a lightning strike or something. I'm gonna move this phone over because I can hear it. It's low and it's throwing me off. Let me give me a second, y'all. Let me just come over here and plug it in across the room. Okay. I won't hear it as much. Let me get back into what I was saying. How she competes with men instead of complimenting them. And the last thing I said was in relationships, she refuses to let a man take the lead, often making it a competition rather than a partnership. And see, men and women, that thing is still distracting. Let me put it over there, way over there. Hold on a second. Okay, that should do it. That should do it. All right, let's get back into this here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being so patient, understand. You know, electricity and technology, these things happen, right? Let's see how this, okay, we got 2 screens up. I got to go solo, I think, on this one. Then I got to open up the screen. That's not it. Wrong one. Okay, let's exit the solo with that and open up this one. Solo. Good. All right. Can you all hear me? I think you can. Yeah, I think I got it right. So this might happen again. We lost a few people that say, we ain't gonna mess with him. Numbers drop. That's okay. Let's put this across the bottom again. Keep that going. And let me go back and read the next point. I don't know if I explained this other one. Let me see. Okay. When we say she competes with the men instead of complimenting them, there are a lot of women who don't know. I'm not saying, oh yeah, they don't know anything. No, I'm not saying that, because they were brought up in a different rhythm. Their experiences were different. Like I said, we can all end up in the same place, but have a different experience in getting there. And so we're speaking about masculine women, so I can only speak as a man. A lot of our sisters had trauma. A lot of them never had a chance to have a wholesome relationship, not necessarily perfect, but wholesome. And you can't just say, you got to do this and you got, no, because now the way you speak to her is going to turn her off, and the guard's going to go up even more. So in this particular situation, you're going to have to take a little bit, right? But you're going to have to show her through example that we are here to complete each other. That if you disagree with something I suggest on any level, it's okay to disagree. Let's talk about it. Let's weigh it out. If we want the best for a particular situation, if we disagree on the color that we're going to paint the wall, and I feel my idea or the color I want it to be is better, a better choice, then I'm going to have to logically explain why. But also as a man, you're going to have to give her that. See, Sarah told her it was funny. House, before we built it, I told her before we even built this thing, there's two things that's very important to me. Right? I'll be very clear on that. I'm not bossing you, but I think you'll agree. And I have a background as an apprentice in a top architectural firm in New York under Paul Friedberg and Associates. Those guys did all of the structures in the Chinese Olympics, but they were up there from before. You can Google the name. It was back in 85. I probably wouldn't have been here doing this. If I went to City College and took up architecture, I'd be in a whole different mindset, right? That's one of the roads I could have went up and, I explained that one. But I told her, I said, listen, the two things that are important to me in building structure, which I have maybe a little more of a gift to visualize and do the layout. I said, listen, you tell me what you want and you'll get it. But the things that are important to me, number one, is traffic flow and privacy. Where I place the windows, if there's any houses nearby, I don't want somebody all up in my face. I'm a private person. Some people feel entitled. They just walk all up in your private wall. They feel they're going to be all up in your house. No, it's not like that. I'm funny that way with people I don't know. So the privacy, the traffic flow, I said, I got to have a wall around this place, a tall wall. So when people around you show you disrespect, that wall, when they see it, they see a middle finger. That is the ultimate FU, that I don't want to be bothered with you. You got to see this every day. Traffic flow and privacy. And I explained, I had to take the initiative as we made the plan. This door be better here and angled this way. This is better this way. If you feel like whatever, okay, one of the things, and I'm not going to just talk about a house, right? But how you complement each other. And every step along the way, you make sure they're on board with you. You're not dictating, but with her, decorating, color coordination. Hope Rice, you've been to the house in Orlando. You saw how nice it was. This is way bigger. Way bigger. One, I said, listen, I told her earlier, I don't care if you said you want a pink wall with purple polka dots, whatever. I got my traffic flow. I got my privacy. I'm good. She said, now, you know, I am not going to sit here like some crazy person. I know that, but I trust in your abilities. So I'm quicker to back up when she insists that I can see this. This is what I want. Because you have to give the woman what she wants too. You can't be a dictator. You got to complement each other. She's getting her kitchen, her space age, whatever kitchen, and she can throw down. You'll see eventually. It's not done yet. I got my studio. I'm happy. I don't even hardly go upstairs no more. I call this bottom floor my apartment. That's what I do. I'm happy with it. I can talk as loud as I want. I'm not waking her up. She's 2 floors up. I'm good. The other thing that I wanted, I said, I must have. This is a must have. I don't want any steps going into the living room. But why? Most houses are built that way. I said, there are times growing up that if I came down from upstairs, you have to pass through the living room to go outside. And if there's company there, if there's aunts you don't like, or next door neighbors you don't like, or somebody, you got to go past it. Oh, you know, and you can't go in and out incognito. I got a door in the living room in the front, like another door by a vestibule next to the kitchen. You can slip out the side because the whole porch wraps around. But all the steps are in the back of the house. So I can peek over the catwalk. I don't want to be bothered with them, and go out the back door in the bottom and step out in and out from the bottom to the top. So incognito. I ain't got to be bothered. I can be private and move in here no matter who's here. I had to think that up. Things I want. But you have to deal and complement each other. And you have to give certain things up. I'm a good salesman. And Mrs. SCURV is a tough cookie. When she wants something, I'm not going to try to convince you not to have it, but let's try this way. Tell a few jokes, give a little compliment. You know, if you're happy, I'm happy. That's how you do. Compliment each other, right? Number 6, she takes pride in not needing a man. Her independence is her badge of honor, not because she doesn't desire companionship, but because life has shown her disappointment. And I'm going to argue that. She declares, I don't, but deep down, she craves connection. For example, she may refuse help, even when struggling. She associates needing a man with weakness. So she shuts down any opportunity for partnership. So you got to understand where this comes from, fellas. Also, she may think that you're trying to ease on in by being nice. I got to say, and I ain't simping, because I tell it like it is on both sides. But a lot of the brothers are jacked up because a lot of them, not all of them, have a secret agenda and hidden motivation when they deal with a woman. It may take a short time to be revealed. It may take a long time to be revealed. And so could you imagine whether a woman has masculine energy or she's a masculine woman or not, the amount of men hitting on her, it could be annoying. And they just don't want to rub elbows with you. They want to rub some other things too. And maybe run off when certain things 9 months later come out. I understand that. So you have to understand that many of these masculine women, and it's not a badge or you put you're a masculine woman, because I've seen masculine acting women not be masculine sometimes when they can drop their guard. You want to see a masculine woman not masculine? observe her with her children when she's home and they're loving her and she's getting along with them. You see, because I've learned too, and this is another little offshoot point that I want to make, that many women, masculine or not, will give freely the exchange of love with their children because they're not threatened by their children. Their children are going to be with them forever. I mean, not forever, forever. We're all going to transition. They're going to get older and leave, but it's a safer investment to give love and receive love. And you know, kids, whatever, you know, say, okay, there's hope there. But if you're a man, you represent something. Like, chances are this is going to happen. Chances, because I've been through this and I've been through that. If every time you walk down a particular street and somebody from the roof across the street, 6 floors up, throws a brick at you in the dark and it always misses you. Down the street. So you better have understanding. I just saw a little glitch. This might happen again. I'm going to have to rock out on the phone. But I ain't stopping to talk. We're going to talk. But you got to have the understanding. And all masculine women are not created the same. You see what I mean? They're all not created the same. Next point. She's uncomfortable receiving love and care. Because she has only known conditional love, she resists affection and acts suspicious of kindness. I understand that. If a man treats her well, she questions his motives rather than embracing the warmth. For example, if a man brings her flowers just because, she may assume he wants something in return. You know what I'm talking about. Her past wounds make her view love as transactional rather than something freely given. Fellas, this is an opportunity to learn, not just about a masculine woman, but all women. Her past wounds make her view love as transactional rather than something freely given. And now we have the brothers out here who want to say, oh, you a simp because you're giving love freely to this woman. Or you're treating her too nice. We all have these little anticipations that we don't really want to experience again because of something that happened in the past. We have to be bold. We have to be strong. We have to say, listen, this happened in the past. This is the feeling I have. Let's still move forward. You can't make the past affect you like that. And you got to understand, women probably catch it a little more intense than men, but men catch it too in a different way, right? And we're on a self-destructive path as Black people too when we deal with relationships, because it's a game now. And you see the guys high-fiving, talking, hey, man, what happened last time? What you do? Man, I tore that up, man. Man, she gonna be walking behind me. I'm her king now, man. I rocked her work. Come on, man. Is that all you got to offer? What if you took that out of the equation? The sexual dominance and what you feel so skilled as, because in this society, many Black men feel that's all they have. They won't tell you that. That's the first thing they revert to. Man, I'll tear that up, man. I got something over here. You know, I mean, I had that sports car she got, but I can. Please. Think beyond that. We got to offset on that. Let's have a nice conversation. Don't say it. Let's just go somewhere peaceful. Hey, I'll take you up to the restaurant. We'll eat. We'll take our time. We'll take a nice little walk. I want to get to know you. We're going to do things. It's not just a walk. You want to go out sometime. Somewhere nice, we'll go. But let's form a bond. Let's take our time. There's no rush. I know what you got between your legs. You know what I got. If we go along long enough, we'll understand those things and we'll realize it. But I want you to know me for me, and I want you to be comfortable around me, and I want you to feel safe around me. That's my goal. If it takes 2 or 3 years, It's worth it because you're worth it. You got to be around people who are worthy of our time. And you have guys who will say that to you. They got 3 other girlfriends taking care of them. So you thinking, wow, he waited for me. He didn't pressure me. You got to watch that too. Transparency with these guys. And a lot of women are getting that way too now. I remember in Orlando, I was driving the bus and I was on a layover. And this one, she's a little fast woman. She fast. And she was saying to another girlfriend, and I was eavesdropping on this one. I knew her too, right? And she thought she was talking. I'm not nosy like that because I got my own thoughts in my head. But this one, when I heard what she was saying, yeah, I had a sugar daddy that took care of all my bills. Now I need a sugar daddy for the light bill, sugar daddy for the food bill, sugar daddy for the daycare center bill. I'm like, God, dog. I know she got more bills than 3, so she must have about 10, 15 sugar daddies. You better have a sugar daddy to pay that clinic bill. And she sees some little things and scratching down there, all the men she laying up with. But some people are not willing to heal. So whether you're male or female, you deal with somebody who has issues, you can help them heal if they're worth it. If you see somebody selling an old 1972 Ford pickup that is shooting black smoke, it goes up on the hill and it's struggling, and the person said, I'll give this to you. Half the time you ain't gonna want it. And if $500 can repair everything that's wrong with it, I ain't gonna spend money on an old piece of thing because it's not worth it to you. But if somebody says, I got a Lamborghini in my yard and it's been sitting there for a while. I got a little travel, I got a little sports cars, whatever. You want that? I'll give it to you. It's just going to take $500 to repair or a little part that it needs is brand new. You're like, what? A Lamborghini? And all I got to do is spend $500? See, because you see that it's worth. Everything's perfect on it. Low mileage. Just got to start it up, whatever. There's something in there that makes it malfunction. And now you're going to say only $500. Because in your mind, if I get this car and I can't keep it up, I'll sell the bad boy and get me $250,000. You see what I mean? Because you see the value in it. So make it where, especially the masculine women, let the man sometimes see a different gear that you have. It's almost like I'm going to really make an extreme case. I'm not calling masculine women lesbians, right? But like I said, you got that butch lesbian with the stocking cap on and a cigarette in the ear, tattoo on the side of teardrop, she'd have murdered somebody. No, not that extreme. And she's always, And then one day you realize you haven't seen her for years. And you're walking down the street and she's coming out of some type of event, some type of something. People are gathered around and they finish. And you look, and you say, wait a second. And you're staring, is that? And she sees your eyes, she catches your eyes, and she realizes what's going on with you. Not that to only be feminine, you have to have a dress. I'm not saying that, but her whole visage. She got her hair in some nice locks. You ain't got to put on makeup. She had a little lip gloss on. She has a dress on, and she dropped a little weight, right? And you realize, man, she got a nice shape. Look at them pretty legs. And she's smiling because she knows that whatever happened in her transformation, and now she's back in balance again. And lesbians, don't get mad at me. What you mean back in balance? This the way I is. No, I'm not saying you ignorant either. I got to tell a joke sometime. And she feels rewarded by the pleased look in your eye. You say, you know what? You're so beautiful. Oh my God. I know women who enjoy being feminine and they're not weak. They carry themselves with grace and dignity, but they're not weak. You don't want to mess with them because they'll straighten you out again, like we said earlier, without having to raise their voice. So a lot of the masculine women are wasting their energy trying to overcompensate because it doesn't be that way. Or you're going to get in the car and you just spinning the wheels, kicking up mud on people, people getting pissed off with you, right? You're messing up your vehicle. Give out the amount of energy that's necessary to get the job done or the situation to get through with it. There's no need to be all over the place, so aggressive. And that goes for men too, right? Let's get to the next point. Number 8, she doesn't prioritize her appearance or femininity. Being graceful, see, we just talked about that. Soft-spoken or well-kept feels unnecessary to her because she values practicality above all. She may downplay feminine qualities, seeing them as frivolous. For example, she dresses for a function, not beauty, and disregards self-care as something as only high-maintenance women do. Isn't that something? You got to enjoy yourself. Now, with different women, they may have different styles. I know some very feminine women who have worn Timberlands, the boots, baggy jeans, t-shirt. They got their locks, which is beautiful, and they're feminine. It doesn't mean you got to be walking around with a garter belt and stiletto heels and what men say is, oh, look at her. I'm not saying that dressing up like that makes you a porno star, but you know, these men, they'll look at you out of lust and say you're beautiful because they're trying to get somewhere. Or you give them a feeling by the way you dress. And you don't have to dress yourself in this tight stuff and your boobies pushing out and everything tight. You don't have to do that. Now, behind closed doors, if you get into your fantasy play, that's what you do. Consenting adults. Because everybody's a freak. Everybody got fetishes. Everybody got things they like. But you don't have to let society dictate to you, because there are some women who are uncomfortable dressing that way, but society dictates to them the way they receive it. They feel they have to do this. And you know, men are going to look at you like an object if you overdo that. I mean, you could have a burlap sack on you, and men are still going to say things. Oh, yeah, she got that burlap sack, but I can see them nipples are hard. Yeah, because it's cold, man. Men's nipples get hard. But because you got this thing looking at, come on, be real. And also, too, how you deal with women who are masculine, but they're weak, but they're relaxing themselves a little. Well, don't jump on them like that right away. Girl, you really changing because you was jacked up the way. They'll go right back to that. What you mean, jacked up? And acknowledge them for their strengths. Make them relax in what they project to a point, but also acknowledge the other things that are not so harsh about them. Oh, you complimented me on how soft-spoken I've been. You can't just say, it's good you talking soft because you loud all the time. I can hear you coming down the hallway. That's an insult, the way you say things. It's how you say things sometimes. Because you can really help to evolve. I don't want to say change. Yes, change too, but look at it as a gradual process. Especially if you're in a relationship with somebody who was like this with other people, now they're getting like this with you, because that's going to happen. If your energy is not right, like I said, you have to be the one to balance it out, because too many men, man, she got that masculine energy. Well, what happened with her to get her that way? When you're intelligent enough to see the value in a woman, you take your time and you're going to have to deal with it too. Because that may be the only way she knows how to deal. Check out the upbringing, the mindset, the traumas, the pain. And if you know a little bit about these things, you can help if you feel this person's worthy enough for you, just like you have to be worthy enough for them. Because we all have the things we're dealing with on the inside. All of us. We're not exempt. Like I can say it this way. We're all jacked up on some level. We all got something that triggers us. It might be something minor. How many times have you seen somebody get triggered? You say, God, dog, they got triggered off of that? They were cool the whole time. That little thing made them trigger. Yeah. It doesn't have to be anything so imposing and monumental and big. I got things that trigger me off. And I control it, but it triggers me. Certain things I don't like. My food. Don't be talking over my food and spit flying in my food. Don't stand near where I'm eating or even near me and sneeze all out in the open and don't cover your, and I can feel the spray landing on me and on my food. That's disrespectful. Cover your mouth. I've said it to people sometimes and they got mad at me for saying it. Oh, you rude. No, you're rude. And if a woman straightens you as a right correct, we throw that term a lot. And she masculine, man. She told me something. That's not a woman's place. Well, a woman's place is not to be a stool that you just walk on, and step on. No way. All right, here's a good one. Number 9, she controls conversations and always has to have the last word. She believes that if she is not leading the conversation, she is being ignored. This makes her dominate discussions, cutting others off or refusing to listen. I know dudes like that. I know ignorant ass dudes like that. But see, that comes from something somewhere. Because, okay, for example, in a disagreement, you will talk over a man rather than hearing him out. This behavior prevents genuine communication, and you'd be surprised. And again, I have to say this is both men and women. Most people don't know the art of conversation. When you want to make a point, best way, let them talk themselves out. Let them talk themselves out. You let them just stay silent, and not only they go on too long because they'll sit there for 2 hours talking and then let you get a word in, but there's a time and place. And when they see that they don't have to talk over you, that you gave them their time. Now, sometimes you give them their time and they still want to talk over you. Say, listen, I gave you your time. I have to make my point. And make your points concise and brief. So even if she's emotional, she's going to feel it at the well. He made his point clear. I'm still yapping. You have to lead by example. Because there are a lot of good women out here who, again, had trauma or came up in certain situations from childhood. They're not bad people, but if you want to restore them and help to restore them and heal them, which you can technically say something, oh, that ain't my job. But where do we start as a people? We have to start healing our children, our spouses, ladies with their men, with our families, and still there are some that don't want the help. Some will stay in that place, and you have to count your losses. Again, like we said, you can't save everybody. Like the show we did yesterday on the Savior's Complex, that goes with relationships, that goes with, romantic relationships, all this stuff. Sometimes it's just we have to face that. Number 10, she lacks emotional softness. Her walls are high and her heart is guarded. She struggles to express love, fearing rejection or vulnerability. For example, she may push people away before they get too close, assuming they will hurt her eventually. This is what happens. That's tragic, to push somebody away like that. Because the very thing you're pushing away as a woman is the very thing you might need. You might not need that particular man who's just there. You can't just accept any old person. But I've seen women who found somebody so good for them, People I've known, I can say that. You know, I can't just rate two people together and say, oh, he's good for you. I don't know him. He might be a weirdo. You know what I mean? Or some kind of aggressive behind the closed doors, you know, have you scared like you would, like you're walking down the street in gunpoint, right? But when you know, I've seen some women destroy perfectly good budding relationships because they got scared because they felt, oh, I'm having a good feeling for this person. They cut off because they're associating that thing with something that happened in the past. And it doesn't have to be a prior relationship like that they were involved in. It could be that their father hurt the mother so bad and left such a mark. The mother complained, she cried, and she saw how the mother had to struggle and left it in her head. We played a game with the Rubik's Cube and try to figure out the Rubik's Cube. We need to learn how to figure out each other. But how are you going to figure out somebody else and have compassion? I don't mean figure them out like a toy, but to have compassion, right? How are you going to do that if you don't even figure yourself out? This is why I love being up in the mountains. I got a number of time to think. I'm taking out trash that was inside of me from 3rd grade and 7th grade and when I was 20. No, I'm not that jacked up. What I'm saying is that you take the garbage out the house. There's that one thing you forgot. You ever did that? Picked up everything in a room or a couple rooms, tie it up, put it in the garbage can. You come back, oh man, I forgot that. I'm weird. I'll go back to the garbage, open it up, and put that one thing in there. That's how I do. So we have to be in a state of continual cleansing so that when we meet that person who may have their own things, we can help them. They can help us. Remember, we're not competing, we're complementing, right? The masculine woman is not a lost cause, nor is she doomed to remain hardened forever. Her behaviors are often the result of survival, but survival is not the same as thriving. There is strength in femininity, and it is not about submission in the negative sense. It's about trust, harmony, and the ability to receive as well as give. Let's say it again. It's about trust, harmony, and the ability to receive as well as give. Healing begins with self-awareness. You see, if you're not aware there's a problem, how are you going to heal? A woman can reclaim her softness without sacrificing her strength. I'll say that again. A woman can reclaim her softness without sacrificing her strength. She can learn to trust a man's leadership without feeling diminished. She can embrace love without fear. The journey is not about changing who she is, but about restoring balance. Femininity is not weakness. It is a power of its own. A woman who learns to embrace her natural essence will find that the world responds to her in a way she never imagined. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. It came all down to that. I gave all the different types of signs, but you don't have to push and be that. It's too much. It wears you down. Balance doesn't mean you have to be super submissive just to any old person coming around. If something is not right in your life, as far as a person coming around you and they don't feel right, then you don't vibe with them. I'm at the point, if I can't vibe right and feel right, my time on this earth is too precious. Every time I blink my eyes, every time my heart beats, every time I inhale and exhale, I'm moving closer to a transition, which doesn't scare me. But I say that because I'm not wasting any time. You know, when your checking account gets lower and lower and lower, you start budgeting more. I'm not saying people just spend crazy, but go and get that tax return check. You feel like $1 million, like you had $1 million. You check oh man, I didn't spend $1,500 more than I thought. Then you start, let's be cool. Let's save this a little bit more. And that's the way it is with your life, your life force, your time, your thoughts. Every day for me has a lot of weight because it's time. We start having played a numbers game video when Irv Gotti passed away. 54 years old. I'm like, I'm 62 in April, and he lived to 64. I mean, I'm 54. Basically 12 years difference. I've been gifted. I don't want the gift to run out. No, now I got so much to do. But too often we don't, like I said before on one of the other, I think a short video, we're not in this moment. We're thinking about the future, which is good. You plan, but a lot of times it's worry that takes us over the future. Oh God, how am I going to pay this? How am I gonna... Or you're thinking about the past. Oh man, she did me wrong 40 years ago. Whatever. Come on, be in the moment. You all are here in the chat room. The ones, people I know, my family here, some I don't know. Some came just, who is this big head guy? Whatever it may be. But let's enjoy the moment. I love you all who are here, who are watching this in the future. I might be gone and you're seeing this. I'm aware of that. That's why the direct communication is very important to me. I don't take it for granted. I'm going to have a little nice meal tonight because it's 12:49. Wow, 12:49. I can run my mouth, can't I? I shouldn't be eating so late, but it's not going to be so much, just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm going to sit back. I'm not surfing the web. I just want to enjoy it. I might go out on the balcony and just look over, see the lights on the other side, just kill a few mosquitoes and just chill, air out, be thankful for this time that I have, as I'm thankful for the time that I have. And I really feel appreciated because you're here with me. You could be doing all kind of other things. Let me go and open some of these comments. If you're with the right person, you're going to automatically submit. And that's what Lance said. Yes, Kelly. Thank you. Thank you. And when one has this shift, because we're speaking about masculine women, I can speak about different types of men, but you might get with somebody who gradually it took their time to know you and you know how they're treating you, and your friends who know you, you know, oh, you getting soft. What's he doing to you? Like it's something bad. It's just that it's the right person. I'm not knocking any woman who has to do what she has. Hard world, challenging world, all these some men who are just collectively pricks. Collectively, one after the other. But you're gonna be sweet to them? No. You have no time for them. When you find that right one, just like Kelly Land said. And I was saying it, but I'm glad you reflected that. Because there's so many people who just no, it can't go this way. And those are the women who are going to suffer. Take your time. We got a society who is so trained. And the more and more I think about it, when I look at this thing called social media, we use it. We're used to using it. It has some good features about it. Like the highway, you get on the highway, you drive and you get to where you go quick. But you're looking at the wrong thing. You might wrap yourself around a pole or get into a head-on collision or an accident or rear end somebody. Not to be gory, but that can happen when you drive. The same thing can happen with your mind and social media. Look how they did it. On the flip side, on the negative side, I've said this before, I'm going to take it a step further. Let me just get a little sip. My mouth is getting dry. I get a big thing of water. I drink a lot, y'all. Woo! Knocked it down. I'll be making a few trips tonight after I go to bed. That's okay. Sweet D. Welcome, welcome. Yes, yes. Sweet D said I deleted Instagram and Twitter. Wasn't on there anyway. And I'm reducing my social media also. See, and I always talk about the calling cards, right? You had the calling cards. You're calling Mexico. You're calling Jamaica. You're calling UK. You have, you go to the shopping store. You go to Walmart, whatever. They have all these calling cards to call long distance, and you get that old lady that's always suggests, no. You get this card. You get more time out of it. So we're paying for that. Social media came along when they had the ability to make calls, they wiped out a whole industry. You know, them people are mad. Them calling card people, the companies are mad. And social media followed behind itself. I'm going to go off again to come back on again. You had Facebook. That's to keep in touch with your circle, right? Your family, whether it's the work family or your family, your DNA sharers, your neighborhood, whatever circle you deem to keep up with, or a mixture of all of them. That's what it was for. Instagram came along. It was just for photos. Basically, they didn't have video capabilities when they started out, nor did Facebook. YouTube was for video, right? Then you have LinkedIn, that's supposed to be for business, but now they got chat. Now, I don't know if you can call on LinkedIn, whatever, but everybody's trying to do everything. Now it's all mixed up, it's blurred. You don't go to the Chinese restaurant for pizza. You don't go to the steakhouse for sushi. It draws us in. Because I had a young man, the young white guy. I talk to a lot of nerds, y'all, because they know. I'm gonna say it the getaway. Yo, they be knowing, y'all. They be knowing. Why else? Let me tell you something. You see why Facebook has the coloring that it does, the blues, and well, when you see that red dot, it's a dopamine hit, and you want to know, is somebody responding or cursing you out or agreeing? And you're like the monkey. I'm not saying you are, because black people don't like to be called monkeys. I'm white, and I know that I got punched in the face in third grade. But the bottom line is, when you see that red dot, it pulls you. You want to click it and see what somebody said. And I've known people that spend whole days. They're in an argument with a stranger. So their mind gets taken away from their reality. And in this thing, how dare you say that? I looked at his profile and this woman is ugly. So how are we going to you don't even know who you're talking to. But now you can make free phone calls. Now you ain't got to worry about no long distance bill. Now you can leave voicemails. Now you can leave text messages. Now you can talk perpetually 24 hours. So those of us from the older school, I won't say just old school, but the older school, wow, you can do that. Phone 3 o'clock in the morning. But even if you want to ring it, you can throw a voicemail. You can put a text. The only difference is, do you cut off your phone or cut the ringer down at night? You know, when you know somebody, you ask them, then you won't wake them up. But now they're giving all of this stuff for free. Now we can get on YouTube and look at old music, listen to old music, sporting events, and remember who was sitting there with us. I remember I was watching Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson fight when Mike Tyson lost for the first time. And I remember my friend Barry, he was there. My old girlfriend, she was there. My father, he was eventually going to pass away the next year, and he had the dementia going on. But he was there, and he couldn't believe it. You know, even though he wasn't well, he was like, Mike Tyson's losing? So you have these snippets of memories, whether it's a song or a sporting event or something of a snippet. And it goes over and over and over, and it engages you in such a personal way. And it could be one thing that means so many different things to so many different people, and your mind is trapped. And so now we have Instagram, doing things that YouTube used to do. You have video. Everybody's doing video. Everybody's doing. So what do? You got this. Everybody's on everything and messages and no, too much. Look, I know I'm not caught up in social media like that. What you mean, Lance? You got them followers, you had the other page, whatever. No, I put work in pushing stuff out. There are people I talk to and I speak to my folks here. If you message me, and sometimes it may take a little time to get back because I'm focusing on pushing stuff out. I mean, I built a studio in my house, man. I do this. This is what I do. I didn't build a garage where, well, I'm going to fix up muscle cars. I don't do that. This is what I do. This one little corner right here. See? So I have to know how to move efficiently so I don't burn myself out. I've been talking for 1 hour and 43 minutes. I do 8-10 hour shows. Longest show I ever did was 14 hours. I could explain that one. But now that it has its grip on our lives, it seems like it went so fast. But again, like I said, YouTube, Facebook has been with us for 20 years. Go back to MySpace and see if you can log in. And it's different now. It's some weird looking. This booty call page is very rarely maintained. Pages. I had a page that had 352,000 people on there that followed me. Wow. A lot of the people that are here, they're going to be here tonight, but they know me from there. I remember I was in Miami, me and Mr. SCURV, visiting my father-in-law who transitioned, God rest his soul. And we were coming from there and going to our other sister's house, which she lived in a different part of, close by. And there was a big black SUV pulled up next to me. This is before YouTube was around. This is before any of them. I was on Black Planet. And this dude was like, Lancescurv, oh my God, I can't believe it. Look at my phone. I got all your artwork in my phone. See, I didn't know nothing about a video. I was doing artwork and writing. Please, man, pull over. I gotta take, man, you don't know I got with me. Lance, yo, man, you lying, man. I'm like, there's other, so I'm used to that. So, if I kill a platform and it has all these people on it because it got so toxic, stalkers and people arguing with other people and, just weird stuff, I'll tell people like, listen, y'all, I'm getting rid of this one. I don't have to have, and when things happen to me where my channel gets taken down, did you see me stop? Oh God, I don't know. The rest of the next 3, no. Okay, I figured it out. We're gonna do a show tonight. Make a new channel. See, it doesn't have that hold on me. What you gonna do, man? Don't you? People ask me, how you feel, man? Don't start drinking alcohol. I said, I don't do this anyway. Don't go out there and get in a fight. I don't do that anyway. Unless you corner me. You keep going. But look what they did. Once they see that society was so, how could I put it, trapped with the attention thing and the entertainment. I mean, your phone is like your TV now. You're walking around and it's a phone and you can text and you can take pictures. Who buys Polaroid cameras now for instant pictures? You can click, 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 put filters on and take 50 million pictures and pick the best one. That now they have YouTube Shorts. For a minute, 160 seconds, you can say something. Now they increased it to 3 minutes. Instagram or TikTok Shorts for 3 minutes. Because see, what people don't understand, this is a war for your mind. And Facebook, with their short vertical videos, this is a war. And they're advertising and bombarding you with advertisements. Look at Instagram. All of these things started out so simple. That's why I'm on Substack. I can deal directly with you through your email. I'm tired of the other model. I don't take my whole shows and put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram, put it on. No, I'm not. I've been around for a long time. I don't need to do that. Not everybody knows who I am, what I do, and that's unnecessary. I'm not going to own the world. Everybody in the world subscribes to me. That'd be sick. Why would I want that? Be yourself, grow your platform, but realize what they're doing. So now they're helping to reduce our attention spans. Most people are not reading books anymore. They still do. They get the Kindle and they get a book, open the pages, have a relationship with the book. If you're drinking coffee and it spills, hey, that makes that book more yours because now it's more unique. There's no blue light coming from the book to mess up your mind, and now you can't sleep because the blue light from the phone will wake you up. You peek at it, whatever, and it's telling your mind, your brain, that it's daylight. And so the mechanisms will start, and you put the phone down, you're like, in the middle of the night, can't sleep. Or maybe if I look a little more at something, I'll fall asleep. And you will, but you're not going to wake up feeling rested. Do you know that when you wake up, and I've said this before, I listen to these programs and research, and I'm not just some guy, one-way Charlie. I'm all over the place. I have some topics, so you look down to the stuff I talked about. It's like, he talked about that? He talked about, is he Looney Tunes? He's just all over the place. Because I'm all over the place. That's why there's no thing that I can't learn. But I found out that when you wake up, if you wake up early, if you wake up before the sun comes up, that's great. Not all of us are able to do that. But as soon as you see the sun poke over the horizon, open your eyes and sun gaze. Stare at the sun in your eyes. You do this and you start squinting. It's cool. But when you stare at the sun early in the morning, it's kicking in and telling your body it's time to wake up. And if you can get your eyes on the sun and register the fact that it's time to wake up, provided you had a full night's sleep, you're not going to do that after 2 hours. Oh, I was at the club and I'm drunk, man. I'm trying to sun gaze. It ain't going to work. But it will help to regulate. Like when your sleeping hours are off and you're going to bed at 4 in the morning, the sun's up at 6, wake up, sun gaze. You'll align yourself with nature, whether you're going to stay up or not. And before the sun goes down, make sure you catch it. And as much as you can during the day. I mean, to walk around blinking your eyes all day long. But it's a reset that happens with your body. And I'm just talking conversation. I don't have the papers to say it's scientifically proven. It is. Thus far, they may find something else. I'm into things like that. And you'll find it's easier to regulate your bodily functions, feeling sleepy before you go to bed. It's a sweet feeling. When you accomplish a lot all day long and the sun's going down, there's this kind of peace that you feel, this inner peace. I was way back from the mic. And you doze off and you submit to that. And you go into a nice deep sleep. And you wake up even before the sun. Like for me, it's too late. It's not going to happen. But I already know how my next few days are going to go. And I know why. And I don't mind it because I have that show with Malika Aziz tomorrow night, 12:30 a.m. my time, that I'm running it, but I may get a word in or something, but it's for them. So that these are my late days, right? So I don't mind because I'm going to sleep till I wake up. That's the thing. I sleep till I wake up. If I get up to answer call to nature because I'm drinking so much water, and the sun starts to come up, I'm gonna be out there looking at the sun for a little while and go back to bed. Sometimes I go out on the balcony, just lay out in the sun and sleep out there. But you got to have a relationship with the sun. So social media is pulling us in so many different ways, making us think thoughts. Either we choose to pick the things we look at. Certain things is impulsive. And that's the job of the thumbnail, the illustration, or the title, or the hot news. Like Kanye West is melting down again, but he got another album coming out. Is he going to be caught up in controversy with the small hats now? Big scheme between the small hats and him that they're going to threaten him and take all his money. He's doing this again. Is this a hustle on us? Do you have control of your mind? Are we addicted to these phones now? And what are they trying to keep our minds away from? Our collective thought. They can suggest activists and our leaders and everything we believe because we see this thing. We have other people who put themselves up to be your prophet or your leader. I listened to, my dear sister put me onto a Zoom call earlier. I'm not going to say exactly what it was, but it was supposed to be something righteous, not religious, but moving forward with something that we as Black people need to do. And it was real, but I can see that a lot of people are going to make money in this thing, like not money for everybody, money for the people who set up the Zoom call. Like they were pushing it. And when people started to ask questions about, okay, do we get a confirmation when we pay? It was something legit. None I'm hiding. I just don't want to blow them up because they're Black people, but they're legit. But they weren't prepared. And they got attitude, so unprofessional. There's a young lady who was on it who most of us know, and she was, I mean, like, as a person who is a leader, a real leader, right? And she was not professional the way she was annoyed at the questions, but you have to be careful because you have so much scamming going on out here. So much. And that's why I tightened up because, like I said before, I've supported people and said, come on, when I had over 100,000 people on my old channel. And they saw that and they're like, oh man, the eyes got big. You gonna let me come on? Sure. I'm gonna rip these people off. Fool, you should have checked me out. I'm being nice, thinking Black people sticking together and I'll help promote you. And unless I know you or see your track record, I can't do it. I can't do nothing for you, man. See, up in the mountains, you can yell out, ain't nobody around. The sound don't bounce around like that. They have parties all night, sometime on the other side of the mountain. There's a hotel over there. Sometimes I'm in the bed, I'm like, man, they rocking some music. Almost had me tempted to get up and go all the way around the road and go over there and see what's going on. I'm gonna do that one night. But yeah, the scammers. I've known quite a few who have used me and got who trusted, they didn't admit me because they knew I was just freely giving, but I can't be freely giving no more because you ain't gonna rip off anybody in my name who trusts me. Not that I said, oh, you can trust him. No, I never said that. But some major scams out here in Africa. And you would think that these are native-born Africans doing it. You got a lot of Americans, folks from the UK too, but I know real estate, everybody comes out here and want to be Mr. Real Estate, Miss Real Estate. A lot of folks come out here and they want to be big. Yes, I am doing this and I'm doing that. Yo, I'm setting myself up humble, slowly. I'm not trying to rip nobody off. I'm not trying to come out here and pump out my chest and say I'm this and that and nothing happens. I'm not asking for no money to build this house. Donations have come and it goes right back into the platform because there's things I got to pay for. You got people getting, like I said before, you know what I'm talking about, get millions of dollars and get on the Breakfast Club and ain't do nothing yet. But you're looking behind, I'm seeing all and whatever. And we did that on regular money. Come on, y'all. Our minds are so caught up. There are real people doing real things out here, but we're so this social media is such an intoxicant. And I'm gonna look at some things tonight that I need to research on. I use it to learn. I ask questions. I do searches. Like I said last night, I got this thing I paid like $700 4 years ago. I ain't used it yet. Couldn't figure it out. I've been searching to mix it with the things I already have in a special way. Because now you got to get special wires. I got the way to do it exactly now. Explained to me in detail. So I'm so happy. That's going to save me money. There's so many people caught up in the trends, and I got to have my hair done this way, and I got to have this outfit, and the car that I have for 3 years is perfectly running. I got to change it now. Short attention span. You with one woman for years, and now you see this next one looking a certain way. She's saying all the right things. Now you dipping out. Now you get a divorce. I'm not stupid. I'm 62 this year. I ain't going nowhere, y'all. I'm good right now. I'm good to say I'm good. And I don't mean not progress when I say I'm not going on. I don't want no major life changes. I'm good. The kingdom. I want no drama. I'm good. Peace. Living in the moment. I have a past and I have a future. I plan for the future. You take care of that. Live. Be too busy peeping and looking and did you see this? Let me send you this. Some people just send links all day. Send links all day. Bring. Say, damn. No wonder your wife don't get along with you. And try to hold up your energy too. Wow. Like fly paper. The phone is here and we stuck to it. Isn't that something? It's a wonderful tool to learn. I've learned so much every day. I've learned so much since the beginning of the year. This is what keeps me enthused. You see? Let me see here. You want $6 for what? I don't know if there's another comment up there, but I think I might have said something to spawn that one. I know it made sense, but anyway, we don't have our minds anymore. It's like I was born in 63, but you know, when you have those formative years of your teenage years, growing up in the 70s, so we think of those periods like really sweet, right? Because it laid the foundation, the influences, the things that we learned about ourselves and everything. So I think about that. The music sounded better. The food tasted better. Everything, because we were engaged in it. Hearing the music was almost like watching a video now. Now we can see the music, but we're not receiving it as strong. It's watered. Everything seems to be watered down. It's not as impactful. I used to buy the old boxing magazines, and the news in it was like 2 or 3 months old because by the time they printed it and put it out there, I still would go on the train and go into Manhattan sometime about midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. Folks thought I was crazy. Where you going this time of night? Go get my boxing magazines, my bodybuilder magazines. The old Indian man used to be right there on 42nd Street and 7th Avenue, where you know you have Broadway and 7th across each other, but it was more 7th. Right there on the southwest corner, there was a little newsstand. Take it out there every week. And sometimes I would, because when I started to go to high school in Manhattan, you know, art and design, whenever he see me coming down the street, he'd see me and pull out a stack that he was saving for me, because some magazines would run out, but he knew I was coming. That's how bad it was with me. I love to read. So it's a different kind of thing now because you got that blue light going on. I love to read, see pictures, be stimulated. I love to see advertisements and figure out who the company is focusing on. So, I mean, back in the day when you see an ad for a Lincoln Town Car and you see some dude with grayish hair and he's in his late 50s or early 60s, it's like, okay, that's the target market. I'm weird. That's what I think about. Things like I still think like that. I love advertising. Never got into it, but look, we're doing stuff like that now online. Just from intuition and from the gut. I can't say I'm a scholar. So there's so many things you can learn to do, but for some reason, just like some foreigner who's coming to America who doesn't speak English, what's the first English that he learns? F you, son of a bee, suck my whatever. You see what I mean? We gravitate, unless we have control, to the worst of the worst. Some of us who don't even speak Spanish know the Spanish curses. And the powers that be use our vast potential and our mind against us. The mind is powerful. I had a day last week that I gave in to being lethargic because I was so focused in one aspect of my life, it threw me into a state of imbalance. So now to get back in balance, I can't just say, oh, get back in balance. No. I gave in to being lethargic that day, and it was enjoyable because I needed that. I'm not lazy. I still got stuff done, but I took my time. Because sometimes you can be spinning at the wheels and not know it and putting out all this energy and getting nowhere. Slow down. Sometimes when you put foot on the gas and you're in that little mud hole, sometimes it's make the tires spin a little slower. It'll grip on something and get you out of there. Because I'm driven in so many different ways now, so many different areas I'm driven in. So you got to have your mind right. So when you go into that pool of social media, make sure there's nobody down the other side of it will get on skin. Be careful to the people you open your mind up to. There are a lot of charismatic people. A lot of them are frauds. Some of them are not. Because now, I mean, look at me. I've been doing this for a long time, so many people feel they know me, right? They met me in person. They might have, hey, I met Lance, he's a cool guy. Or somebody lie and say something bad or whatever have you. But it's easy now to get a little camera and your computer and your light and sit up here and just present this thing from jump. The only thing I have is an advantage for me. Like Sister Hope Rice has been to my home in Orlando, been in Mr. SCURV's kitchen, been here, been there, sees all of that. You know what I mean? And that builds because she will tell, hey, no, he's a real thing or whatever. And I did a place in another country, got my little stripes behind me. Like if you roll with me for a while, you can see me driving the bus. You can see photos of me when I was in corrections. You can see photos of me when I was in bodybuilding. You can see me talking to different people who are prominent that I know. Some I can't talk about because I'm too radical. So I get information that most people won't get. You know what I mean? And I ain't got nothing to prove. I'm like, well, $20 you have to give me. I have to hit the cash in. Hit the cash in. Shut up. Damn. I do this because I like to do this. It helps. I got my foot in being able to be called a senior citizen, right? I want a limited income. But I planned and I live in the moment. It doesn't take much for me. That's the kind of life I want to live. I don't want to be scamming people and pressured, and an hour from now I'll be sleeping. A good deep sleep, all in the pillow, just the ideas will come to me. What to talk about, I got things to do tomorrow. I got a thing I put off, got some more stonework to do, a couple of pieces I have to put up. a few little things I want to do in here. Whole lot. So that's what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this down soon. I just want to put the link if anybody wants to come in and say anything. I promised myself I'll always do that. And sorry for the glitch out earlier where everything broke out, but that's how technology and electricity is. You want to come in and say something? There's a link. It's in the chat room. I'm just going to be a greedy hog tonight. I'm going to eat. I'm not going to run into bed, but I don't do that a lot, but something in there I want to get real bad. And I hope I don't have nightmares, right? Because we're up on the mountains and the windows, see, because we got the wall around the place, we got bars in the window, but the windows are open, so it's always this breeze going through. So if you close the door, and it's not one of those doors like it closes, but all of a sudden the wind may blow and boom, 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 boom. It's like somebody trying to open the door, but they're like pushing it. And when you're sleeping, you know, your mind like gets crazy. Because I'm thinking, there's somebody in the house. So I should have pushed the door open. It'll be your mind starts playing tricks on you to the point where we first moved in this house and it wasn't still not finished, but then it really was like super bare bones. It had a roof and had doors and windows and stuff, but you know, a lot of work wasn't done. And the first night I got up like 35 times. I ain't gonna lie, because I wasn't acclimated to the noises and the sounds, and I knew for sure somebody was trying to, and there was no wall yet. Oh yeah, they're coming. Then the wind blew a small garbage can over in the front. I was up. I'm like, where's my thing? And I still got it too. You know what I mean? I'm still paranoid. I got them all over the house, right? I'm ready. I got a short one, long one, all kind. Right here while I do the show. Now, you know, I don't need to be that way. Ain't nobody paying me no mind that way. Control of your mind. But see, that's from my past traumas and different things. Waking up, and that man was standing over me in August of 1980 in my bedroom, came to the window. So that's him. I was 17 years old. That's in my mind. I know I broke one of his ribs, right? But then working in corrections and, you know, just seeing the streets of the city in New York, you know, before I go to sleep, I check every single door and window. That no matter where I've lived in my life, I got to check it. Sometimes I'm going to walk around the whole place and check it. Then I can sleep. My mind's a little messed up, but I use it to my advantage. You know, anyway, nobody really came in. Wow. I had a good time tonight. I'll be back tomorrow, maybe a little earlier too. I want to do 2 tomorrow. I only did 1. Me and Mrs. SCURV did something. I want to put that up too, but it's too late. I'll do it tomorrow. It's like a short thing that I did. And that's a good thing. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this down. And I'm just glad that you all showed up and came and vibe with me tonight. Yeah. And the stove. You got to check the stove. Oh, that's important. That's important. That's right. You have to check these things, because if your mind tries to play tricks on you, you already know I did this, I did that. This can't be the case. Because I left out one day, and Mrs. SCURV left out somewhere else. We both had to go do 2 different things. And I'm like, did I leave the stove on? You know what I mean? I thought that I left something on that I had cut off and was going to sit there, and I didn't have far to go. But I'm thinking, is there a fire under this pot? And I was messed up, and I had to really think. I'm like, so you have to, and it's not like my mind's slipping. My mind is sharper than ever before, but sometimes you have those human moments, and that's what happens. So I'll be a door checking fool in a little while and everything. It doesn't have to be that way, you know? I mean, the front gate and the front locked in. I'm thinking somebody could jump over the fence, but do they really want to come in here with me? Because I'm gonna hear them long before anything else. You got to saw through the bars of the window. You got to break glass. Well, now the windows are open, so makes it a little easier. But do you really want to do that? Nah, I don't think they want to do that. Because the way this place is, the traffic flow, if you walk around in the dark and can't see, it's like a maze. And I know the best thing to do when you're walking around, you got to get low. Because people don't know. They come inside your house. They don't know where the coffee table is or the couch is. Get low. Have your little thing, whether it's the ding, ding, ding or the chop, chop. Get low. Wait for them. Don't be scared. They don't know unless they come with a flashlight. And I designed this place, traffic flow, like I said, traffic flow and privacy. You ain't going to run up on me in this house. I might jump off the catwalk and land on your head. Hidden walls and doors and dummy this and places. And I ain't going to show everything over the camera. I show a little piece here and there. I'm not setting myself up. Oh, I know his layout of his. No, you won't know. You're walking thinking everything's cool. And you're done, right? Russell Simmons, yes. The real Russell Simmons, right? It's great seeing you too, brother. And I mentioned you not by name, but I mentioned you on the show the other night. I didn't say what you do or what. I just, I mentioned the state. It could be anybody when I mention that, right? But I'm here, I'm doing my thing. We definitely have to catch up. There's so many things. Remember that is the ability for chat directly into your email, right? So you got to go there. I don't know if you went there yet, Brother Russell. I'm going to drop the link. Let me go find it again. Why don't I keep the link readily available, right? I got to go all to the side over here in the bookmarks. Let me see if I can find it. I shouldn't have put, okay, there it is. There it is. I'm going to open this in a new tab. Grab the link. Just go in there and open it up and just put in your email. Or there's a subscribe button somewhere in there. You'll see it. Because what I see from the back end is not what everybody else sees. That's right. You'll find. If around to find out. Yep. I probably won't be able to videotape it, right? One of those F around to find out videos, right? Well, they'll find out I'm a different person. Like, no, I freak out. The thought of somebody coming into my, that happened to me. And it affected my life, my whole psyche. Yeah, there it is, y'all. There's a link for Substack. If you hit one of the posts, and in there has a subscribe button. I don't know if there's one up front when you get to the home page. But it has that's so, I love it. It's not the usual social media. I ain't never leaving that. Look, I'm about to tell people on Facebook, all 5,000, whatever I have there. Yo, you got 2 or a whole month. Join me here because I'm going to cut this page. Because Facebook, they funny with people. See, they may not shadow ban you, but they will cut like your stuff. In a way, it's like that, right? But you won't see any interaction on your page. You got 5,000 something people on your page and there's no interaction. Something's funny. And will they restore this back? Since, what's his name? Zuckerberg? No. Because they're scared of TikTok. There's a whole lot of things going on with this, but this is not, but anything just to capture your mind. Our attention spans are shorter. These little shorts we're thumbing through. They've reduced us to that. They gave us all of this stuff, and we don't want that no more. We want, like a child that doesn't want the meal. No, I don't want the meal. Just give me the candy. The candy tastes good. It has sugar in it to make you think that you absorbing something, but there's no nutrition. And don't fall asleep with a short on your phone. You watching the phone and it's saying something over and over and over. Oh, you get this thing again all day, the next day tomorrow. Over and over, brainwashing. We don't know the effects of these things. You think any studies have been, we've done a 20-year study on social media and effects. No, because it's getting worse and worse and worse. Better start that study all over again. So we're zombies now, walking out into the street. Don't even look. Every time I'm driving the bus, or see them come out and look to my lane to the left to see if I have an escape route to not hit this person. I trained myself that way. I drive that bus like an old Toyota, little Toyota. Yes, I did. That's right. Geraldine Blair, welcome. Welcome. You see 2,100 views. Really? That's cool. That's cool. Well, you see that? I might not see that because they don't show me. I never get, oh, you mean 20, oh, 21. There's 21 people here, yeah. But maybe you see 2,100. I know my numbers are big, but you know, they ain't gonna show me that. They ain't gonna whip me either. Make me, oh, I'm giving up, I quit. Because like I said, this is one thing that I do. And I'm comfortable. I'm home. You know, when you get on the phone sometime, you're having a good conversation. Say, dang, we've been on the phone for 4 hours. And it's natural. And it was a good conversation. So I'm not sitting here all spread eagle. Yes, my name is Lancescurv, and I am. That's too tense. I'm regular. I'm talking like I'm talking to anybody across the room. So this is effortless. Thank you, too, for being here, Geraldine. It's effortless for me. I don't expect anything, you know, coming through the heavens. I'm vibing with my people. We share information. We keep each other hip to different things. And that's why y'all got to go to Substack. I'm going to get into it more. I'm learning. I learned so much about it today. I'm live right now on Substack, y'all. I didn't know how to do that. I researched for a couple hours and messed up and came back and no, I don't get discouraged. If there's a way to do something, I'm going to do it. That's how I survived this thing for so long. And I don't expect anything. You know, I'm going to be famous if I keep this up. I focus, like I said, strategy, and you'll notice this, and I'm going to go after this. But my strategy on social media now, I make little clips. I put them out like little flyers on social media. If they come, they come. They don't, they don't. On YouTube, yes, because that's major. And I'll put a little clip on there too. But it's about right here where we are. You know, not doing that. I'm not wasting my time. You know. Anyway, I'm babbling now. By the time I start babbling, it's like, it might sound interesting, but I wake up and say, what did I say? Did I make any sense? Let me hit this. I don't want to knock this thing off too fast. Okay. Get over to this screen. Oh, let me knock this off. Yeah. Once you get on Substack, we good. We good. But Russell Simmons, I'm so glad to see you. We're going to catch up. And everybody else who's here. And it's easy to reach out to me there. And I'm having a ball on it. Matter of fact, I'm going to put some things up. I've been putting up some old pieces of artwork and writing new articles on it. So you might want to check that out. You say, oh, I saw that piece of artwork before. But click on it. You'll see. And the surgical precision thing, I'll say the word one time. The one that I put up is Karl Marx correct. He was speaking about the small hats. And I think I only used the word once because the challenge in writing that article was to write the article in a way where they don't come after me. I'm not scared of nobody, but I'm just saying I'm not going to make an effort to build something and get it knocked down. Now, on this platform, I don't think it would be. On that one, Substack, right? But I did it in a way where it was foolproof. Like if you take that down, it's because you just trying me. Because I said nothing insulting. I'm very proud of that article, right? Because I told it like it was, in a way they can't say anything, right? I put that up. It's less than 24 hours, so go check that out when you can. There's always a way to do something. You just have to apply yourself and have your mind right and be in the present. You're driving down the street, you turn your head one, man, look at that girl over there. Keep the focus, y'all. Anyway, much love to you all. Lancescurv is signing out. And I'm just loving all of this, man. I really do. Thank you for making my life brighter with the energy that we share here. And I look forward to every day to talking to you all. And it makes a difference in my life. Much love.